Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Featherstone's Obsidian one-person backpacking tent. So let's get right into it. Alright, so to get things started, let's take out all the components out of the stuff sack, lay it out on the table so you guys can see what comes with this tent, and then let's talk about some of the technical specs. So I'm going to open up the bag, lay everything out here. So right off the top, we do have a footprint. Now this tent does have an external footprint, which is a huge bonus in a lot of backpacking tents nowadays. Often you'll find these as a separate purchase. This comes with the tent, so really great added value to the tent. Here I've got the tent body. Now before I unroll this, I just want to show you guys the size of this. So not very big at all. It is a very compressible tent. I know it looks big in the stuff sack, but that's just because everything's bound up in there. If you were to pack this in your backpack separate as I do, it actually goes in there very, very small. So this is the tent body. We then have the tent poles. Reaching down in here, I've got the tent fly. Set that off to the side, and then we have a bag of guy lines and tent pegs. So let's get everything laid out here, go through each individual item out of the bag so you guys can actually see what we've got here, and then I want to cover the tech specs. Okay, so getting started, here we have all the tent pegs. These are a nice kind of gunmetal finish. They do have a little bit of cordage on the end so you can retrieve them out of the ground, and they're a standard Y stake. I want to say about 6 inches in length. We've got more than enough for the tent and the guy lines and everything that you need right there. So we'll push those off to the side. We then have the aluminum poles. Now this is a two-pole system, or sorry, a one-pole system, but it branches off into 2 legs. So this is a very unique pole structure, and you guys will see what I'm talking about when we do set the tent up. But you'll notice that it is color-coded, and this color-coded pole does coordinate with the tent and the footprint. We then have the footprint over here. Now I'm not going to open this up now because it is very basic. It's just a footprint. We'll have a look at this when we set the tent up. We also have a compression strap that is included to basically snap on the tent, and you can roll it up nice and small to help get it back into the stuff sack. The stuff sack does have some warranty information and some assembly instructions on it if you do need to resort to that. And then of course we have the tent body and the rain fly. Now before we go too much farther, I do have the current listing pulled up on my phone. So I'm just going to open this up and read off the tech specs to you guys because I know that is very important to a lot of people. So currently right now, this is the Featherstone Obsidian one-person backpacking tent. It is $100. That's it, $100 for this tent. So very, very good value in this purchase. It is a 3-season tent. However, you guys know on the channel that I love using 3-season tents in the wintertime, and this is definitely going to be an excellent option, and you'll see why in just a moment if you listen very carefully. So capacity, 1 person obviously. The floor dimensions are 81 inches by 38.5 inches, which is also known as 205 centimeters by 98 centimeters. The peak height is 45 inches, also known as 114 centimeters. The vestibule area is 25.6 inches. That is also known as 65 centimeters. The pack size, so that is packed inside of the stuff sack that is included, is 17.87 by 4.3 inches, also known as 20 centimeters by 11.1 centimeters. The pack weight in everything here, the footprint, the compression strap, the pegs, everything here comes in at 3 pounds 12 ounces, also known as 1.69 kgs. Trail weight, this is kind of minimizing some of the components, is 2 pounds 12.5 ounces or 1.27 kgs. Now, you can also remove the inner tent and just go with the ground sheet and the outer tent, which will reduce the weight even more if you choose to do so. Now, material specs. Let's talk about this just for a sec because this is where things get interesting. The Rainfly is a 20 denier sil nylon with a 5,000 millimeter hydrostatic head. It is a polyurethane hydrostatic coating on this. This is very, very waterproof. I've had this out in a torrential downpour all day. Not a single drop of water made it inside, so I'm very, very happy with that. The floor material of the tent is a 20 denier sil nylon with 5,000 polyurethane hydrostatic rated coating as well. So the floor is extremely waterproof. The canopy is a no-seam mesh, and we will see that it is a white color. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more detail further in the video. So it is a white no-seam mesh, very good with bugs, does not let any bugs inside. The pole system is a single pole It is a hubbed system, so there is a hub in the pole, but it does branch off into a Y section, and we'll see that in a little bit. The pole material is a 7001 aluminum material. The accessories is 12 aluminum stakes, reflective guy lines, and waterproof footprint. That is all the specs that I've got for you guys on this. Let's go set the tent up. Okay, I'm going to set this up rather quickly. I'm not going to show the entire setup process because it is fairly basic. It is a regular backpacking tent. But I do want to run through the pole sections first. I just want to show this to you guys. So assembling these, they are internal poles, so they just click inside, which is very nice. Then we have a hub system here. So we have two spreader poles. You'll see this shape right here, which is very interesting. And then we come down to the Y section that I was talking about with the color-coded pegs, or the color-coded legs, I should say. So this is one color-coded system all the way down here. We've got that orange. Get that popped in there. And then we have the other Y section. So it is a very interesting pole setup. We've got quite an interesting hub system here. This would be the foot end with the one pole, and then the two Y poles would be up towards the head end. And then these are spreader poles which coordinate with the rainfly. So I'm going to get the entire tent set up without the rainfly. We're going to take a look at the tent body and the footprint, some of the components around the tent, and then we'll have a look at the rainfly and everything set up on the tent for full storm mode. Okay, so here is the basic setup of just the inner tent. I did leave the footprint out because there is something I do need to touch on with that in just a moment. I want to mention that this is a freestanding tent. However, you'll notice that there is only one pole running to the foot end of the tent, and then there are these little aluminum stays or little plastic stays that are inside of there. I'm not sure what the material is exactly, but there is a stiffener put down here to kind of give the 3D bathtub floor effect. Those need to be staked out to give it its full shape and its full body. You'll notice that the no-seam mesh does cover quite a bit of the tent. It is a white color, making it almost a little difficult to see outside from when you're inside. A black no-seam bug net would have been a lot nicer for this, in my personal opinion, but the white still does work, and it does work really well. Down here we do have some taffeta type material which works extremely well when it's raining really heavy and the rain's hitting the ground and splashing underneath of the tent. This blocks all of that splashing water, and it does come up very high on the head end and on the sides of the tent. We do have an additional guy out point down here in the middle. All the guy out points down there at the middle and the two at the very top do have snap buckles, which I'm going to show you guys very closely in just a second. But I wanted to give you guys this look at the tent and just cover that it is a freestanding tent. However, you do need to guy out the 2 foot end corners to give it its full shape and full body. Having a look at the foot end of the tent on a straight on angle, you guys can see the design. So it's not a vertical wall tent, so it does taper in quite a bit. And they've done this to reduce a lot of material, a lot of bulk, and a lot of weight. So it does taper down in towards the foot box area, but then as we come up to the head area, it squares off into a nice tent where you can sit up and get changed inside of. There is quite a bit of room inside of this tent. And up here you guys can see those spreader poles that they've got hooked in. It's interesting how they've done this. They didn't use any plastic clips or any kind of toggle point. They just sewed in a little pocket in this little webbing strap, and the pole slips right in there, creating a very sturdy and very unique setup. I actually like that quite a bit, and it helps reduce the weight. But right now I just want to give you guys this angle to show it is tapered quite a bit in the foot end, but it does open up in the head end of the tent. Here we have an up close look at the construction of how the tent body hooks into the pole system. Just a 2-finger clasp, making this very easy and very quick to set up. Here we have a pull sleeve system for the spreader pole to hold the tent body open. You simply place the pole in the sleeve and it holds the tent nice and wide and secure. Here we have a very close-up look at the hub system. These are the 2 spreader poles, these are the 2 Y poles, and this is the spine pole going towards the foot end. Very, very secure setup. Down here we have a very close look at the foot end guy out corner, so that it's attached with this 1.8 millimeter paracord, and then we do have some kind of stay system in here which is flexible, and that helps give the body of the tent giving this 3D bathtub floor effect, and this works very, very well. Here we have a close look at the snap system. The pole goes into a grommet, and then we come into some paracord material, this 1.8 cordage. This is the same at the foot end and the 2 Y sections up at the head end. This is how the pole is attached to the tent, and then the tent body would attach to the fly via this clip. Okay, so this is where things get a little bit interesting. If you happen to have one of these tents and you're scratching your head, if you have kind of the same issue that I have with mine, or perhaps you're looking at purchasing one and you happen to have the same issue as my model has, I just want to clarify this. So down here at the foot end of the footprint, we have orange paracord. So this is orange cordage material. There is only one grommet, so this corresponds with the foot end. And then on the other side, we have another piece of orange cordage. Now remember, 2 poles on this pole system are color-coded orange, and they are at the head end of the tent. So my assumption is this orange cordage is supposed to be on the other end of this footprint, corresponding with the orange colored tent poles. I'm not sure if they made a mistake on this tent or if this is just how it is, but if you guys happen to get this tent and you're wondering why is the orange down here when it's supposed to be up there, just correspond the grommet. There's only one at the foot end corresponding with this tent pole. Lock it in there and just go with the flow. Don't look at the color-coded cordage with the color-coded poles, because at least on my model it is wrong. I have to basically lock in the foot end into there and then carry on. So I'm going to get this underneath the tent, get it strung out nice and tight, and then we're going to throw the rain fly on top. Alright, so throwing the rain fly over top of the tent, there is a yellow stripe that is a weather flap on the zipper to the door side. There's only one door on this tent. It is on that side, it is not on this side. So I'm going to throw the yellow stripe over towards the side, giving us our door access point. Simply drape it over and snap the buckles down on the bottom, attaching all the guy out points on the bottom, and it should be sound and secure. Okay, so here I've got the rain fly on the tent, pitched very nice and tight. We do have a guy out point down here. Now there is a built-in adjuster on this guy out material, and that'll hold the tent very nice and secure in high winds. We have 2 more up at the head end. Let's go take a look right now. Okay, so here up at the head end, we have one guy out material here. We have another guy out material here, all with adjusters built in. And then we have a nice kickstand vent right up top of the tent. Simply unvelcro it, pull out that kickstand. That'll give you quite a bit of ventilation. There is bug net on the inside, so nothing's going to come in to the inner tent, but that does offer quite a bit of ventilation. Alright, so entering the tent, as I mentioned earlier, there is only one door. The vestibule on the other side of the tent is not obtainable from the inside of the tent. You do have to get out, go around, and put whatever you want underneath the vestibule, or retrieve it. So what they could have done to make this better is put a little tiny zipper on the inside of the tent body. That way you can reach out and grab things. Unfortunately, you do have to get out, go around, grab what you need, and then come back inside. However, on this side of the vestibule, obviously it is much easier to reach because the zipper is right here. So we have 2 points of Velcro, undoing those. That helps with the wind, keeping this very tight and secure so no rain or snow is going to go underneath the zipper. We then have some roll-up flaps. We have some reflective guy outs here that hold the door back. So they are guy out points as well as toggles. You can use it for both. And that is with both sides of the door. So we can open 2 doors or 1 door. I'm going to open up 1 door right now, show you guys how that looks, and then we'll move over to the other door. So here's a look inside of the vestibule area, just with 1 flap open. So this is typically how I would enter the tent and exit the tent if it was raining or snowing. That should give you an idea of what you could fit inside of there. Backpack, shoes, cooking gear, whatnot. You can do a little bit of cooking inside of here. I often do coffee or tea inside with 1 door open. I don't recommend doing it with both doors shut because the vestibule area is just not big enough. So let's get this other door out of the way and move inside of the main tent. Alright, now that I've got both doors completely open and pinned open, I've even gone ahead and pinned open the mesh door. This is a D-shaped zipper, so it does unzip in a D shape, stopping here with a toggle. I've got loads of room inside of here. There is a plastic hook up top, so if you do need to hang a headlamp or a lantern, you can do so. And then we do have 2 gear pockets just behind my head, right up in this area, quite up high, so you can put a toque, some mittens, a headlamp, again, whatever you need to store up there, you can do so. And I've got quite a bit of room inside. This is a very small 1-person tent with the slanted sides, but it does save weight and it does save bulk in material. However, there is still enough room when you're laying down inside of the tent. As you can see right now, I'm sitting up and I've got loads of room inside of here to throw on a jacket, get my shoes off, whatever I need to do, I can get done inside of here. And it's really not that bad. It's actually quite nice. Alright, so there you have it. A fairly basic look at a fairly basic tent. It gets the job done, and it gets the job done very well. Complete with guy lines, footprint, pegs, everything you need right here in this small package for $100. You can't really beat that in my opinion. I have a lot of tents and this is very good value at that price point. So I like the color, I like the features inside of it. It doesn't weigh too heavy, so it does make a very good trail tent, and you can lighten up the trail weight as well. So I hope this helped you guys out with the Obsidian 1 UL backpacking tent from Featherstone. Like I said, all in all, pretty good, and I enjoy it. If you guys have any more questions or comments, drop it down in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get back to you on that. Until next time, peace out guys, and I'll see you in the next video.